So you are thinking about moving the entire family to another state, maybe even a completely different region in the United States. Boy, are things different between north, south, east, west, and then you got the middle. Let me tell you, moving the whole family is extremely stressful. I've made that journey myself. And in this video, we're going to talk about why Dwellix, on their top 100 best cities to raise a family in the West, has named 4 cities in the Phoenix metro area. Don't go anywhere because we're going to get at it right after this. Hello, this is Sheryl Willis over at the Real Agent Now group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And if this is the first time to our channel, you're going to want to tap that little subscribe button and click that little bell so that you are notified each and every time we release a new video. We are getting dozens of calls every single day, and we love it. Look, if you're thinking about moving to the greater Phoenix area and you want to know everything there is to know about moving the family out, where you want to live, what's going on, where's the hot spots, where's the schools, the freeways, the jobs, where do you eat, sleep, drink, what about entertainment activities? It's all part of life and it's all important to you. You know what? You're just going to need to pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. We got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. All right, let's get started right away and let's talk about the top 4 cities in the Phoenix metro area in the entire western part of the U.S. Yeah. All right, so we all know that the western part of the United States is known for its gorgeous landscapes, laid back vibes, super chill, right? Surfer dude kind of thing, right? Wide open spaces. We are the land of adventure. Wild, Wild West. I'm sure you've heard of that term. A company called Dwellix analyzed over 15,000 West Coast cities, all the way from Alaska, I was going to say Arizona, Alaska, all the way down Washington, I can't get them all, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. I think that's it. And out of the 15,000 cities they've analyzed, they came up with the top 100 list. And guess what? Phoenix had 4 cities in the top 100. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, but what are the other 96? Well, they are beautiful places, but are they right places for your family? What they did is they analyzed all these different cities on all these variables, quality of education, the community, so community, percentage of married households, school-age children, etc. Climate comfort, I know before you start going, climate comfort, meaning the having a minimum certain days between 50 and 90 degrees with no rain or snow, obviously. Well, I guess you could have snowy days at 50. Infrastructure, number of parks, outdoor activities, internet speeds. Like, that's important. I'm telling you, electricity 24/7 is also very important, whether it's winter or summer. Safety, natural disaster risks. So the fewer, the better. Low crime rate, finances, childcare costs, property prices, cost of living, and everything else that goes with living. And like I said, Arizona came up with 4, but they did come in number 1 and number 2 and 3. But let's jump to number 4 in the state, but number 60-something in the top 100, and that is Scottsdale. Believe it or not, they didn't make the top 5. All right, Scottsdale. Let's talk about that a little bit. Scottsdale, if you've seen that in any of my previous videos, I've really pointed out that Scottsdale is not just one area. It's literally like 5 different parts of a city. There is going to be the more rural, more mountain views, more picturesque, golf and country clubs, spa and resorts, multi-million-dollar homes. Now, mind you, if you have a $20 million home and you live on an estate of 10 plus acres, chances are you're not really looking for a neighborhood where we would have an abundance of those homes so that your kids could make friends with the neighbors, right? No, we're looking at more of the south part. I would actually say the middle part of Scottsdale. Let's take a look at the map and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if you look at this map, it's pretty much going to tell you where there are schools and where there are not schools. So everything north of what we call the 101 is pretty much luxury living. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of schools up there. Not that there aren't children that live in this area, but the majority of those children are probably homeschooled. And I would say that the parents aren't necessarily looking for, again, that community or that environment that they want to foster, children playing in the street. That sounds funny, but, making friends in the neighborhood and swimming over each other's house and doing doorbell ditch. Do they still do that? You want to probably stay south of Shea Boulevard. That is, in my opinion, the best place to put family in the Scottsdale area. We are not only talking great school districts, schools in the area, which, by the way, our state, okay, you ready for this? So in my opinion, the ideal place to put a family that's looking for, again, that culture, the community, activity, making friends, doing after-school programs, and joining dance classes or gymnastics or soccer team or karate. That's a big thing out here. I would recommend that you stay around what we refer to as like the Cactus Corridor. Shea Boulevard is going to be a great middle point for you to kind of use if you are looking in the Scottsdale area. Here's another great thing. Arizona's private school voucher system has officially taken effect. Whew. It was approved earlier this year, and then the public school system tried to stop it for obvious reasons, but they didn't get enough signatures, and it is a green light. And what this means is the parents get to choose where that tax funding goes to whatever school they want. That means public school, private school, religious school, Montessori. Did I get everything? Oh, and homeschooling, right? So if you homeschool your children, as I do know many people in the North Scottsdale area that really love that real remote feeling, and that's what they're looking for, they homeschool their children. And now that tax funding can go directly to their household. Scottsdale has so many amazing things to offer, literally from culture, arts. The museums in this area are incredible. There is the Butterfly Museum, and one of my favorites, and not many people know about this, is the Music Museum. I am telling you, there is so much in this area. There is the Desert Botanical Gardens not too far away. This particular area of Scottsdale, or just outside of the Scottsdale area, is going to be relatively affordable. You can also get newer homes, not necessarily some of the older homes that Scottsdale has in this particular area. If you think about Scottsdale, when it was originally founded, it was at the most south part of Scottsdale. When you look at Old Town, where all the partying and all the craziness is going on, that was the center of Scottsdale. When I first moved here in the 90s, that was the center of Scottsdale. And I remember north of 101 was nothing but desert. Well, now that curve at the 101 is kind of the middle part of Scottsdale. But if you are looking for that well-rounded community that has absolutely everything, Scottsdale comes in, like I said, right around that 60 of the top 100. Let's get to number 3, which is really number 3 on the list with Dwellix. You're going to be surprised, comes in at Gilbert. Here is the Gilbert school grade map. By the way, I've got these rankings. These screenshots are taken from greatschools.org, and you can just type in the city and it will pull up all the schools. This isn't, again, this is more than the public school system. This is absolutely all the schools that are available. And I have to be honest with you, in the town of Gilbert, and yes, it is truly a town, even though they have 250,000 people that live there, I'm not particularly fond of the public school system there, at least when you're comparing it to some of the other choices that are in the Southeast Valley. You'll find that most families typically in the Gilbert area will be sending their children to one of the Montessori or charter schools. Charter schools do not cost anything. And also, all you have to do is live in the district, and they have inter-district transfer if that's important to you to get them into a certain school. You don't necessarily have to live in those boundaries. Now, if you do have your child in IEP, there is some different requirements. So you're going to want to check on that school. And my recommendation for any of the non-public schools, that would be religious, private, or charter or monastery or trade schools even, to check at least a full year in advance. Some of the high demand schools, one of the more well-known one is Basis. And there is a Basis actually in Scottsdale that is probably the second highest rated. The first top rated is in Chandler. There is not one in Gilbert, but I happen to know that these schools require at least one full school year in advance, preferably two or close to that, right? So you want to plan ahead. As far as amenities and community amenities, the town of Gilbert has absolutely everything. First of all, you're going to embrace the true West and everything that Gilbert has to offer. You are going to have local farms. You're going to have pumpkin patches. You're going to see areas from, I mean, you can still see the cattle and the pigs and the goats, and people have pet chickens all over Gilbert, just to let you know. And so there's that, there's something, charming about that country feel. They also still have a rodeo. It's called Gilbert Days, and it's a lot of fun. Downtown has a rodeo parade ahead of time, and there's so many things in the downtown area as well. They have a farmer's market every weekend that honestly cannot be beat. It is one of the best. It is so much fun. They have movies in the park. I'll tell you, Gilbert is 100% about family. Now, there is a very large presence of religion in the town of Gilbert. So if this is something that's important to you to either have or not have, make sure you pick up that phone and give us a call. We can show you some of the different maps that you can go and do some of the searching for yourself. But if finding the right house of faith is important to you, you're going to find it in the town of Gilbert. I mean, it's just everywhere. Everybody is very communal, everybody helps each other. They come together. And I'll tell you, through the last couple of years that we have seen, obviously during COVID, this is an area of town where people really came together and they really helped each other out. Now, the town of Gilbert is still growing at a very, very rapid pace. They are considered the second safest city in America, and that's by the FBI rankings. So the crime rate is very low, but as that population continues to grow and more people are coming into town, you're going to start to see some of those numbers change. You're going to also see a little bit more congestion. Gilbert is serviced by some freeways at the furthest north part and the furthest south part, but there's nothing that goes through the meat and bones of Gilbert. So depending on where you live in Gilbert, you may have a little bit of a traffic issue. I wouldn't say it's a problem. I have a friend that lives just outside of Heritage District, which is the downtown district, and he bought his house there because he loved living nearby where he could literally crawl home right from the bars and restaurants. There's more restaurants than there are bars. Like I said, this is really a family town. But he's like, you know what? It sucks though. Every time we go out with our friends or whatever, it takes me an additional 10-15 minutes just to get to the freeway. So if that's important to you, definitely, let us know. We'll ask you the right questions to help guide you to the right part of town and the right town to begin with. How's that? Gilbert is definitely known for its greenery, the beautiful pastures and trees and green parks. They are coming up with the most amazing park. I shouldn't say they're coming up. They're building it over a 15-year period of time. These kind of parks don't happen overnight. It's called Gilbert Regional Park, and it is going to be amazing. And the neat thing about being in Gilbert, just because you're in Gilbert doesn't mean you have to stay in Gilbert. But I have to tell you, shopping, this is shopping mecca. Well, I would say family shopping mecca, meaning everything that you could ever need is in the Gilbert area. Everything you want, maybe not be. Like there's not a Mont Blanc store and there's not a Louis Vuitton store. Like, no, you got to go all the way up to Scottsdale. And I don't mean the lower part of Scottsdale. I mean North Scottsdale to get to kind of that bougie shopping. But in Gilbert, literally, Macy's, Dillard's, Bed Bath & Beyond. I was about to say Sears. That doesn't even exist. Walmart, Victoria's Secret. There's a lot of breweries. Oh yeah, I can't forget that. And I'm telling you, there is more and more organic kind of restaurants popping up in Gilbert every single day. Biggest shopping there is going to be the farmer's market, believe it or not, and Whole Foods and Sprouts. All right, let's go to number 2. You're not going to believe this. Chandler. Chandler comes in at number 2, literally. Think about that. They've reviewed 15,000 cities. They've come down to the top 100, and Chandler is number 2. Insane. Oh, guess what? I live in Chandler, and I can tell you exactly what it's like moving from a big city that was a hustle and bustle. I come from San Jose, California, and to move my children here. It was like going like this down to this. I'm telling you, if you're coming from a big city, the amount of weight being lifted off your shoulders from traffic, appointments, parking, trying to like get schedules because I'm telling you, my world completely slowed down. I became a happier person. I became a better mom. I was a better wife. I was a better neighbor. Let me tell you, when you aren't stressed and you're not financially strapped, the world becomes a better place. Coming from any of the West Coast cities, you are going to find a plethora of choices. I did, and I got to handpick where I wanted to live. So really it comes down to, look, Chandler has some of the best schools in the entire state. Here is a Chandler map for the schools that you can see, again, the top rating. These are the public schools. Public schools. These aren't charter, these aren't Montessori, these aren't private, these aren't religious. These are the public schools if you want top level education. The city is also a huge tech innovator. So again, I come from Silicon Valley, where everybody is hustling and bustling, a vendor capital of the world. You got computer and this, telling you, it was just absolutely crazy. I feel like we are more in touch with today's technology. We're innovative out here. The mayor and the city council and the VCs that are out here, I am telling you, Chandler is on the forefront, always has been. Where do you think the self-driving cars were first tested and are corporate headquartered? In Chandler, Arizona. Intel is a ginormous presence, and as a result, over the last 40 years since they've been here, over 250,000 high-paying tech jobs in Chandler area. And it's still growing. Like, it is unbelievable, the companies that are moving here. It is just refreshing. So living amongst people in the Chandler area, academics first, community, lots of infrastructure, choices, entertainment. You know what else I really love is all their events they have here. I am telling you, if you love that type of arts, if you want your children to get into learning to play music or even like the whole STEAM. Okay, I know it's STEM, but I add A for arts, and there's a lot of arts program here. Again, dancing, theater, they have gymnastics. It just goes on and on. Just even like being in the marching band. A lot of the schools and a lot of the other states, they completely cut that stuff out. This girl right here, yep, I was in the drill team. But you know what? That's what helped kind of form who I am. And what they offer, oh my God, the community centers here, whoa. Look, if you don't have a whole bunch of disposable income, the city offers so many great programs, and not just for children, for adults too. They have tennis, they have golf. The libraries here is insane. And even the schools, I'm telling you, the extracurricular activities that they cut out like decades ago, they have them here in the greater Phoenix area, more specifically in Chandler. You want to talk about robotics? Wow, they even have this drone soccer team here. And it's insane. Like, I feel more technology advanced here in Chandler than I do in San Jose. Maybe just because people can afford everything here. It is crazy. All right, we're going to get to number 1 now. And let me tell you, even I was surprised, but I'm thrilled to say that the number 1 place that Dwellick selected was Queen Creek, Arizona. And you know what? Queen Creek is like taking the cutest, smallest hometown and making it the best place in the world to live. Like, it is unbelievable. I'll tell you, again, when you take the formulas of Queen Creek, and it's only just begun, the city of Queen Creek, it's unbelievable. Like, they only have like 1 brewery, but there are many more coming. They are also coming with an amusement park. Yes, that is coming into Queen Creek. It's called Frontier Days, I think. And LG is building a ginormous campus out there. They're going to be doing building batteries. So we're going to see more employment. We have a new extension freeway called State Route 24 that they are just extending off of the 202. So now parts of Queen Creek, not all, but parts of Queen Creek will have freeway access. They have fantastic new schools. They have a brand new high school that just opened up this year, Castile. Queen Creek is also known for a ton of equestrian type of activities. There's tons of horse property. Oh my gosh, beautiful properties. You can also have cattle. You can have livestock. That would be cattle. You can also have goats. You want goat yoga? You're going to find goat yoga in Queen Creek. You are going to feel like you are in the Wild West that we kind of talked about. You're going to see beautiful open fields. You're going to see horses literally taking walks on the weekends. You're also against the majestic sand tan mountains. So you have national forest, you have hiking, you have biking, you have beer and wine festival. It's so much fun. And I'll tell you, their Christmas parade is still the cutest one I have ever been to. Look, if you guys are thinking of moving to the greater Phoenix area and you're trying to pinpoint that right spot for your family, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. We got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. Hope to see and hear from you soon. Bye.